Using holiday savings to pay for a home deposit. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's look at this article from realestate.com.au, originally from the Courier Mail, discussing a Brisbane couple that spends their overseas holiday savings on a new home. We're seeing these articles appear more and more. People that have been able to save a lot more of money, sometimes living with their parents, but still saving much more money, and because they haven't been able to spend it, they haven't been able to travel overseas, they've been able to afford a home. So it makes you wonder if Andrew Bolt's, comments about smashed av on the weekend, $50 and smashed avocado every week, that adds up. A few years, that's a home deposit. Well, a big chunk of a home deposit in a reasonable city. Sydney, we're not talking about here. It's just insane. But Brisbane, yeah, could be. Could that be why some people are saying, oh, where's all this money coming from? Where can people afford to do this? Because they're cutting back on other spending. People are hoping that all this tourism money that people spend overseas is going to prop up the Australian tourism industry. But it might prop up the housing market, everyone. Why would you go on holiday in Australia when you could buy a house in Australia? So, in less time than it takes to soft boil an egg, a young couple bought their first home at auction on Saturday for $900 in Brisbane, $925,000, using travel savings from an aborted 3-year trip to London to secure the sale. $925,000. You should be getting stuff around $5 in Brisbane, guys. Why are they spending close to $1 million? Where have they bought for a young couple? Okay. In East Brisbane, you buy a bit further out, guys, and then you hold onto that property, and then you buy further in. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, guys. This is us. We moved a bit further out. I kind of prefer being closer to the Gold Coast, south side all the way, closer to the Gold Coast, because I've got family there, and, okay, 900, that's insane. To me, that looks insane. Am I just so out of touch? I didn't buy that long ago, guys. I did not buy that long ago. $925,000. Oh, it's still very hot coffee, but wow. Okay, that's one hell of a holiday. And, here's the thing, everyone. You've got to remember, there is a huge divide in earnings for people around Australia. You've got the average weekly earnings of $1,711. It's higher if you're a civil servant. For men, it's up to $1,900, nearly $2,000 a week. For civil servants, guys. Servants. Picked the wrong profession. I did a stint in the public works. I couldn't handle it. Just the amount of bureaucracy. The issue is, when we get down to the median, the average weekly cash earnings, you're getting some people down to a much lower level. The median, which isn't shown here, I've got to find it's on another thing. About $1,100, everyone. We look here at industry earnings. Mining's pulling everything up. The median earning is about $1,100 a week. So we're seeing quite a disparity here. And that's the class divide in Australia, everyone. $925 for your first home. The 3-minute auction was a fitting end to one of the shortest auction campaigns Brisbane has ever seen. The Ray White Balimba agent, Maddie Roche, reducing the campaign to 2 weeks because of overwhelming interest. Two-bedroom! $925,000 for a 2-bedroom place. $925,000 for 2 bedrooms. It's you, your partner, maybe you have one kid. If you have another kid, it starts to feel confined. How big is the block? There were 15 registered bidders who turned up to 51 Didsbury Street, East Brisbane, and had their game faces on. It's showtime. Paris McAllister said to her friends as she descended the stairs of the rear deck with paddle number 22 to find shade before the auction began. That's... You know what, we'll look it up. We will look it up, because these things, they always pick out, like, you know, they pick out odd cases in these articles. So here we have it. I mean, how big is the land? I want to see. Tell me the land. It sold for 700 grand in 2014. In 97, it was $157,000. You know, 2 years before I was finishing high school. 91, it was 98 grand. In 88, 43,000. So 43,000 to nearly $1 million. In what? 30 years. But where is the land? We'll have a look here at some of the photos. I mean, there you go. It's a nice Queenslander. Could you lift it up? How much frontage do you have here? It doesn't quite show us. Nice little deck, timber floors. Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, okay, this stuff is all nice. You can buy that at Finlayson's, guys. It's reasonably expensive actually for what it is, but it's not the end of the world. That kitchen looks a little tight, doesn't it? But they've renovated it. I mean, there you go. We just got a piece like this, exactly like this. We've got to dress it up. It's been sitting in our bathroom is like half renovated. I mean, there you go. Lovely outdoor area. That's where you live. That's the other bedroom. Has to be a trick with the camera, doesn't it? How small is this block? 900 grand. So they've got a garage, storage under a little bathroom under there. This is a worker's cottage, guys. Internal area 136 square meters. You know, bath, a big deck with a large area underneath. But can we see? We need to let's look up Google Maps. Sorry guys, I just need to see this, get an understanding of this block size. So this is where it is. Okay, so it's looking pretty tight on the block. It's only a small block. Or not. They can get even smaller than that in Brisbane, everyone. But I mean, here you go. You're so close to the city. Which is convenient, but you're kind of in. I guess you got the train line here. You can get there. I'm just thinking this area here. Wow. I used to live. We lived up here. We lived up here when we were students, when we were renting, and then we actually had our office over here. And this area all got built out. This area was just so full of traffic, but it was convenient. You could still walk into the city. And now we're in suburbia. We're a little bit further out. We're like a 30-minute drive in, but still, it's pretty good. But 925 grand, guys. Wow. First home. Why wouldn't you buy two crappy ones? Go a bit further out, buy yourself a little tiny place, a cheap one for under 400, and then buy another one as an investment, and then do the negative gearing trick that people do. Or maybe just sit on that and build up some money invested in the stock market. Putting it all into one property. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I guess, you know, it's in Brisbane, it's popular, but it's a tiny block. What can you do with it? Maybe you could lift it up and build under. You know, put it a bit higher. Railway auctioneer Phil Parker was a little too tall to take advantage of the shade underneath the back deck, so he stood in front. Okay, I don't care. We're looking at our future, where we want to retire, and use this money to finish where we want to live. Then buy a block and build a house, something coastal to retire, the owner said. Start bidding at 600, and from there the crowd of 76 bidders jumped in, raising the bids by 50 grand and then 25, and random pitches until the property was announced on the market, when Mr. McAllister raised the panel 22 to bid 880,000. 880,000, everyone. For Brisbane. For a little place. The gardens are going to be a bit bigger there, but still. I was bidding for my friends, she said afterwards. Robert and Tani Duff, who got married the day before Queensland's first lockdown in March, had not expected to be needing their friends' help to buy a home this year. We meant to move to London last year, but it got scrapped, so we decided to use our travel money on a house, but it's taken so much longer than we thought it would, chartered accountant Tani Duff said. It's been a rigmarole, Robert added. That's the thing, guys. Is this because people are just getting so bloody sick of looking for property that they're just jumping on it? Maybe I'm just so old-fashioned. 900 grand, guys. Ouch. Nearly $1 million for your first home. We've put in 3 offers on properties, but they've knocked us back. We got outbid by a cash buyer on a different property. This is it. They're getting desperate. Can this last? Will this last when the banks start foreclosing? Or are we just seeing the class divide here? We had the highest offer, but the cash offer was more palatable. That's the word, so we didn't get it. But when the gavel fell at $925,000, the 405 square meter property was there. So this is a small block. A 400 square meter block. Oh, boy. Let's do the... What is it? Let's do the sums, guys. We have to do the square meter sums here per land. What are you doing? You get 925 divided by 405. $2,283 square meter just for land. That should be like construction. That's expensive land. You know, they chuck the house in for free. House and land 2-2. I remember seeing square meter rates like that. That was up like at the super high end of architecture. You know, more expensive properties. You do a speccey for 7 to 900, maybe 1,100 if you're a bit posh. A square meter construction. Maybe I'm out of date. Too much education work, guys. We were in our 50s, but we wanted this place to go to a young couple because of all of the potential. What potential? You got a 405 meter block. You're tiny. You got nothing. I'm going to lift my house and I'll have a 9-bedroom place here in the suburbs for a fraction of that cost. Sure, it's because we pump out kids like nothing and have grandparents, but isn't that what a family's meant to be? Wow. I'm sorry, I need to look up the Commonwealth Bank loan calculator. How much are the repayments on this going to be? You know, what is it? Let's say they borrowed 800 grand of it. How much are the repayments? We'll go weekly. Let's calculate. What? I don't want the stamp duty calculator. No, I don't want that. I don't want to borrow $1.4 million, you crazy thing. Repayment calculator. Yep. Total repayments will be $70 a week. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. So $682 a week, everyone. What's that monthly? Nearly $3,000 a month on 800,000. So let's say they got 700,000. You know, if they borrowed 700,000, they had 200 grand setting aside. That'd be reasonable. Total loan repayments, $2,500 a month. Maybe they had more of a deposit. They're accountants. They'd probably be really good with money. This is so beautiful. We should have brought our champagne too. So, I mean, there you go. They bought it for 700 grand, the last couple, and they're selling it for 925. When did they buy it? If we have a look here, they bought it only a few years ago, 6 years ago. So they've pulled in another 200 grand. You know, but still, what do you reckon, everyone? Is this what's? I'm sorry, I'm a bit. 900,000 for your first home. I always thought you'd go in cheaper. Maybe it's a different class, everyone. Maybe I'm just showing my, you know, my lower class exposure or upbringing, or I should say normal family life. Isn't that it? 900 grand. There you go, guys. I mean, young professionals here, you could afford it. Pretty easy, you could. Without kids, you could afford it. Even with kids, you probably could manage it. But it depends on how much of a buffer do you want. Do you want your mortgage to be a payment that you worry about? I'd rather have my food bill, and it is, be higher than my mortgage bill. You know, if food, we spend more money on to try and eat healthy. You know, but there you have it, guys. What do you think? Do you think this is the secret? This is why there's all this energy, or is in the market, that, you know, particularly housing, or is this just FOMO? Would you go 900 grand for your first house, or would you buy a little bit further out? What do you think? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, please. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links on Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.